They called him Bapu, the father of a nation. The man who fought the British with silence, brought down an empire with a pinch of salt, and made the world believe in the power of peace. But behind the halo of sainthood was a man made of contradictions, a politician, a strategist, and at times, mystery even to those closest to him. This is not an attack on Mahatma Gandhi. This is the complete picture. The human behind the Mahatma. The saint, who was also a man. Long before he wore khadi and carried the weight of a nation, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was a boy lost in guilt. At the age of 16, he watched his father die, while he was in another room with his wife in an act of passion. That guilt would haunt him forever. It's said he linked that moment of pleasure with punishment, leading to his lifelong obsession with celibacy or brahmacharya. But his youth was not without rebellion. In London, he experimented with fashion, dance, and even flirted with atheism. And in South Africa, while standing up to racism, he once referred to black Africans as kafirs, deeply derogatory term. Yes, the Mahatma, too, had to unlearn prejudice. Gandhi's views on sex and women have raised eyebrows for decades. He believed sexual desire was the root of weakness, and yet surrounded himself with young women in his later years. He would sleep naked beside them, including his grandniece Manu. Not for pleasure, but as a test of celibacy. To modern eyes, this is uncomfortable. Even some of his closest associates questioned him. But Gandhi believed that controlling the senses was the path to spiritual and political power. Was he a sage, lost in experiments? Or a flawed man seeking mastery over his own instincts? The truth, perhaps, lies somewhere in between. Many see Gandhi as a saint above politics. But in reality, he was master strategist. He knew when to fast, when to speak, when to retreat, and when to lead the masses to the streets. His famous Salt March was not just symbolism. It was marketing genius. A handful of salt shook the foundations of the British Empire. But his political decisions were not without controversy. He sidelined Subhas Chandra Bose, criticized Bhagat Singh's revolutionary path, and often insisted Congress follow his methods, even when others wanted different route to freedom. Some say he delayed independence. Others say he preserved the soul of the movement. Gandhi fought untouchability, yes. He called the lower castes Harijans, children of God. But did he truly support caste equality? B.R. Ambedkar didn't think so. He accused Gandhi of protecting the caste system under moral disguise. When Ambedkar proposed separate electorates for Dalits, Gandhi went on a hunger strike, forcing a compromise that Ambedkar never fully accepted. To Gandhi, unity was essential. To Ambedkar, justice came first. Two visionaries, one nation, but two very different dreams. India's partition was not just the result of colonial policy. It was also a failure of leaders to agree. Gandhi and Jinnah, once allies, drifted apart as the idea of a separate Muslim homeland took shape. Gandhi never accepted partition. He fasted to stop the riots, walked through the blood-soaked streets of Bengal, and pleaded for peace. But the wounds ran too deep. As India celebrated its freedom in August 1947, Gandhi was not in Delhi. He was in Calcutta, trying to hold a burning nation together. Gandhi's last days were spent in silence, prayer, and political exhaustion. He was heartbroken over partition, over the killings between Hindus and Muslims, over the soul of the nation slipping away. And then, January 30, 1948, a gunshot at point-blank range. Nathuram Godse pulled the trigger. Angry that Gandhi, in his view, had surrendered too much to Muslims. Gandhi's last words? He Ram. Or so they say. History often demands heroes or villains. But real people? They are messy, complicated, flawed. Gandhi was not perfect. He was a man of peace who sometimes caused division. A voice for the poor who was blind to some of their pain. A master of discipline, yet controversial in his personal experiments. But perhaps that's why his story still matters. Because it reminds us that change doesn't come from gods. It comes from humans willing to struggle, to question, to fall, and rise again. So don't cancel Gandhi. Understand him. Learn from him. And write the next chapter, better, bolder, and braver. If this side of Gandhi surprised you, share this story. Because a nation that knows only half its history never truly knows itself.